Yo, 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 what it do, family? It's your Uncle T coming back at you once again with another Toombs talk. I appreciate y'all for tuning in on March 18th. It's a new moon in Pisces, so hey, it's been a little minute. So I want to bust out the Herbal Astrology Oracle deck. So we just gonna do a quick little oracle read. First of all, we got a little bonus right here. Pau de Arco just popped out. So Pau de Arco is metamorphosis. So a lot of y'all are probably going through a heavy level of metamorphosis and change right now, and that is for the good. So embrace it. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, I hope y'all been doing well. Your Uncle T, man, life has been lifing, but overall life is great. Obviously I'm back in my house. I went through a whole huge level of metamorphosis and transformation and this and that with my situation. If y'all don't know about that, you can go ahead and check out some older videos, but essentially that's old news, and we're here to move future forward. We can't be stuck in the past. We also can't be stuck too much in the future, so it's important to embrace the present that is the now that is the present being the gift. You know what I'm saying? So the gift of present. So let's do one more shuffle. We're gonna see what else wants to come up from this Herbal Astrology Oracle deck. Now, Pau de Arco, so this is interesting. I use Pau de Arco. I just put on my Instagram. If y'all don't follow me on Instagram, I'm going to post this video on YouTube and Instagram. Follow my Instagram. In my stories, you'll see little tidbits, little behind the scenes. But just the other day, was it yesterday? I was soaking my feet in Epsom salt and Pau de Arco, interestingly enough. So really good herb for various different things. But let's do one more shuffle and see what wants to come forward. So we got Pau de Arco, Metamorphosis, and let's hear what else has to come forward. Wow. Damania. How do you say it again? Yeah, Damania. Damania leaf or Damania flower. Now this is represented by the beloved. This is essentially like the Lover's card in Tarot. So we've got Metamorphosis through Pau de Arco, which is the number 7 card. And we've got Damania, which is the beloved, representing two lovers. And it's the number 11 card, so 7-11. Go ahead and, Papa needs a new pair of shoes. Your uncle needs a new pair of shoes. Holla at me. So 7-11. It's a crapshoot, y'all. But no, it isn't a crapshoot, because this is what you've been manifesting. So you've been going through the metamorphosis, and now it's time for this aspect of the beloved. Now, this could mean another person, someone you may have, on your sights or in particular, or this could be within yourself. First and foremost, we always got to embrace this aspect of self-love. Too many people get caught on the external and not embracing their own self-love, and therefore they're giving their energy away, giving their time away, giving too much of themselves away as opposed to giving it to yourself. So that is that process of metamorphosis and changing to where we somewhat essentially care less about the external and we're more focused on our internal. And that's kind of where I want to come at today in terms of what I'm going to do is do a little bit of Reiki right now. So we're going to do a little bit of Reiki. And, that Reiki is just really about self-love, the metamorphosis, and the beloved. So let's go ahead and take a look from the book right quick and see what other insights we can get from the book. So this is the little Herbal Astrology little guidebook. And so we've got Pau de Arco. So I'm going to read some of the key words for this particular card right here. So discovery through darkness, that's deep. Transcendence of the known, unearthing fear, nonconformity, and breaking cycles. That's super deep, y'all. Discovery through the darkness. So a lot of y'all have been through dark times, and that's not for, it's not just a random occurrence, It's finding that discovery through the darkness, and you see this woman kind of like her shadow is just like laying on the floor right here as if she's just like worn the heck out, you know what I mean? But it's in that we embracing the present, embracing that particular dark moment, the dark moment of the soul, the dark night of the soul, You know, when we embrace that, when we go through that process of metamorphosis. Transcendence of the known. So a lot of that too is about surrender and letting go. Unearthing fear, nonconformity, and breaking cycles. So that's really where we're at. You know, there's a lot of, it's turbulent times here in the earth, and you know, here on this planet Earth, you know, with the war and all these weirdness going on with all these weirdos. But you know, again, focus within yourself. That's the only thing you can really manage right now. You can't manage other people. You can't manage what goes on over there. You can't even hardly manage, you know, what goes on like within your immediate family per se. You know what I mean? We can only do so much, but what we can do is focus on ourselves. So finding that, embracing that darkness, and transcending that aspect of the inner darkness. And like I said, unconformity. It's kind of unconventional what we're doing here. If you rock with your Uncle T, we're doing things that the mainstream really isn't into. It's starting to become a little more popular nowadays with a lot of different tarot readings, energetic healing, where science is starting to bridge that gap between science and spirituality. We're getting into that phase, but we're not quite there yet. So there's still a lot of work to be done. Now let me go to number 11, metamorphosis. Also, this is represented by the moon and Pluto. There's two little glyphs up here. So obviously it being a new moon, you know, that is that process of metamorphosis. You know what I mean? The dark moon. And we're moving into this new phase, right? It's the initiation of a new 6-month cycle. As 6 months from now, we'll be culminating on the full moon in Pisces, right? So, you know, it's about embracing that. And then when we look back 6 months ago, when it was another new moon in Pisces, you know what I mean? And we can reflect on that and where we were and where we are now and where we're fixing to go future forward. So let's go to the number 11 card, Damania, the beloved. Now here's some keywords from Damania. Magnetism, attraction, kindred spirits, soulmates, relationships, intimacy, sacred play, and finding the beloved within. So again, outside of the external, if it's external, that's going to be completely somewhat obvious to a lot of y'all. You know, if you're involved with somebody or you want to get involved with somebody or you got someone in your sights, that's going to be pretty obvious. But again, if it isn't so obvious, and what is also more obvious is the internal work that is always to be done. So it's always about loving yourself first, even if you got someone in your sights, right? So it's that magnetism and attraction. I really like that. So how are you activating your personal magnetism? We're always attracting what it is that, you know, we deserve in a sense, right? And what it is that's going to, we may even not necessarily deserve it or think we deserve it, but it may be that lesson we're provided with the lesson or experience that will help us future forward. So it's a long game, you know what I'm saying? We can't be so stuck in tunnel vision, but we have to see the long game of this big unfolding universal grand design plan that's moving forward. You know what I mean? Even right now with this war and all these current conflicts going on, there's a bigger thing at play. You know what I mean? And a lot of people don't realize it, but these are the end days. You know what I mean? As have been described in many ancient texts and many ancient stories, right? These are the end times, but the end times is also the beginning. The beginning is the end and the end is the beginning. You know what I mean? So it's about ushering this new beginning, and how is that going to come forward for you individually? Is that going to be manifested in a particular love? Or is that going to be manifested by you loving yourself, and then therefore you're magnetically attracting and bringing in these people, situations, or lessons that are going to serve you future forward? So 7-Eleven, you know what I'm saying? It's a good time. Maybe you want to hit that. Maybe you want to hit the craps table. You know what I'm saying? But hey, don't. Your Uncle T's not giving you advice. Do what you want to do. But if you win something, you can throw a little your Uncle T's way. You know what I'm saying? So 7-Eleven. All right. Now what I want to do now is just sit. We're gonna just spend a couple minutes real quickly. The video is already here at 10 minutes, so I don't want to be too long with your time. But we're going to just do a little bit of Reiki to kind of settle in and help really embody these two particular power plants, Pau de Arco and Damania. Now, Damania I always use for any type of love, whether that be self-love or love with another person. We also get to see these angel wings on here. So there's this angelic presence. We see the cup overflowing or pouring out. And it's also represented by Venus and Pluto are the glyphs. So Venus is about love, attraction, that certain level of abundance, and Pluto is that deep level of transformation. So we've got Pluto in both of these cards, this plutonium type energy that is basically, Pluto is the farthest planet, so it's these long standing cycles. So again, it's the long game. And kind of, it gives us a chance to reflect back on in the past, how things were and where we are to this day. And again, future forward, not just in like a couple months, but we're talking about the long game. What are you going to be manifesting future forward? So I just saw 11:11 on the clock. Let's go ahead and take a few deep breaths, settle into to ourselves, and we're going to do a little Reiki on this particular aspect and kind of bring that in. So we're going to take 3 deep breaths right now. Even for myself, I tend to get excited and animated and talk a little fast and things like that. So we're just gonna cool it down, chill it out, and slow everything down. One more deep breath. Shake it out. Let that parasympathetic, system just kind of like come into play. Now the universal symbol of this prayer, our hands at our heart connected together. We're connecting the yin and the yang, these two forces together in our heart center, in that 0 point space. As you can see, I got my I Taurus Z pendant sitting at that center. So we're just gonna kind of, if you want to participate with your Uncle T, you can go ahead and gather your hands here and just think about the center, that heart space, and allowing that energy to flow through, in, and around your physical vessel, your energetic vessel, the embodiment of what is you right here, right now. So I'm gonna go ahead and recite the 5 Reiki precepts. And this allows us to embody the present moment and embody that aspect of truth that is the here and now. So just for today, I will not anger. Just for today, I will not worry. Just for today, I will be grateful. Just for today, I will do my work honestly, and just for today, I will be kind to all living things. Chokure, chokure, chokure. Seiheki, seiheki, seiheki. Hanshanze shonen, hanshaze shonen, hanshaze shonen. Daikyomo, daikyomo, daikyomo. So just take this moment to breathe, center yourself, embrace the present moment, and know that everything is okay right here, right now. There's no need to worry, no need to harbor on to the anger, let it all go. Be grateful for the present moment. Be honest about where you're at and the work that you're doing, internal work and the work you're doing for others. and always be kind to all living things, because you are them and they are you. We are all one. So with that being said, wholeness, it's your Uncle T. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. Again, if you want to book a Reiki session, a distant Reiki session, we can talk things out, go through about an hour-long session and do some energetic transference, settle into the present moment. If you want any type of reading, holla at your uncle. Dogs are going crazy. Life's back at it. You know, here we are, back at life. So I appreciate y'all for tuning in with your Uncle T, and I'ma holla at you. Happy new moon in Pisces. Wholeness.